How much training did you have to do, and what was the hardest part of it?
A lot of training. A whole lot of training. It was about maybe 6 to 7 months of what I called a boot camp, 5 days a week from 9 to 5. I was training in the morning from 9 to 11, then I was wrestling with Anthony, then I was doing crutch training, and then I was learning how to speak like him because I have a New York dialect, coffee and water, coffee and water, like he says. So it was kind of an all-around training experience. I'd say the hardest part for me was the wrestling. Yeah, just getting it down like he does. It's his own style. So when I learned how to wrestle, it wasn't like I was just learning how to wrestle kind of like the ordinary wrestler. He has his own specific way of doing it. So getting on the mat every day and kind of, putting all that pain on the knee and it's just new pains in my body, new places I was sore I've never been sore in. So it was excruciating, but so worth it. When you think about who Anthony is, you close your eyes and you just push through, and all the motivation is there,
Unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Why do you wrestle?
When people look at me, the first thing they see is what's missing. If I win, having one leg won't be the most important thing about me.
As a wrestler and as a coach, did you participate in the choreography of the scenes, of the fight scenes?
I did. I'm honored to say that I did participate as the Jharrel's double in all the wrestling scenes, and I remember getting that call with the opportunity from Billy Goldenberg, the director, just asking if I would be willing to lace up my wrestling shoe and go at it, and I was like, man, this is exactly what I know. I'm all about it. So, to have that opportunity, to have my input, I was just truly honored to be a part of the whole process from start to finish. So.
Did you get hurt, or did you hurt anybody?
I think it was a mixture. Wrestling, there's only so much that you can hold back, and so there was bruises, there was bumps. I got bloodied a little bit, Jharrel got bloodied, but, it was pretty neat to come together with so many talented former Division I wrestlers and current wrestlers, because what we described it as a violent dance. We were choreographing these scenes, but at the same time, we were going 100% at each other to make sure that it was as real and authentic as possible. So very proud of how the wrestling turned out.
I'm not interested.
Listen up. You're gonna have to beat out men who were recruited to be on the Arizona State University wrestling team. You're gonna have to prove everyone wrong just to make the team.
What about working with J-Lo? How long did it take for you to think of her as your mom?
That's a great question. I'm from the Bronx and I'm Dominican, so J-Lo was a big figure in my household. So when I found out that she was going to play my mother, it definitely required a lot of knocking out the starstruckness of it all. But it didn't take too long after meeting her. She is incredibly focused, and I actually met at her home for our first rehearsal, and she had a notebook full of notes and annotations of the script, and she had a lot of questions for me as well as I had questions for her. So once we got through, I think we rehearsed for almost 3 hours that day, and once we got through that rehearsal, it was all there and we were connected. Yeah.
The champ is here! Celebration dinner for Anthony!
The mom told me about that Drexel scholarship.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep my options open.
When you could go to school for free? Hey, you heard what your son said? He's gonna keep his options open.
Bobby Cannavale,
Yep.
you had to play with.
Bobby was so fun. Native New Yorker. We had a lot of fun on set, and what he was able to do with that character was so much. On the page, it's a abusive man, but he was able to put some sort of life in it that kind of made you question: do you like him or do you not? And there was a lot of heart in it, so I think it rounded out the entire.
But he's got a good sense of humor.
Yeah, he's yelling on action, and then when it's cut, he's just making jokes. It was amazing. Great guy.
You are 6 months behind on the mortgage.
It's a perfect opportunity for Anthony to pitch in.
I'm not letting him quit wrestling, and I'm not letting him quit school.
I got you. I'm here.
Was it hard for you to see your family's story again?
I think there were parts of the story that were hard for me to see. It wasn't all victories, it wasn't all happy moments. But I think in order for us to tell the story the right way, there had to be the realness to it. People had to see the pain, the losses, the suffering moments, because I think that's what we can all relate to is the challenges, the losses. And that to me is what unstoppable is. It doesn't mean that you're a machine. It doesn't mean you don't get beat sometimes. It means you just keep moving through it. And so people needed to see what we're able to overcome, what we're able to move through little by little and fight our opponents, because that's what this movie is about. Just wrestling through your opponents and telling yourself that I'm unstoppable no matter what.